All right, mathletes, on to number 5. Let's see. All right, so this one looks a little strange, maybe a little different than what we've done before. And I put this in here because we had one like this before with a table, but now we know how to do that without a table, the one that we had on the last quiz. So I want to show you just one that, we don't really have a method for this besides maybe graphing and a table. And so and the issue with it is if we plug in 0, if we just try to directly evaluate this, we end up with a 0 in the denominator, right? And actually a 0 in the numerator as well. So we can't just directly evaluate, right? We can't just plug in 0. And so we're kind of forced to use a table. Like I said, we could also use a graph, and you can definitely use that to confirm your answer, but make sure that you show your work with a table. The other thing is to make sure your calculator's in radian mode. So to do that, you just push mode, and then scroll down to where it says radian and push enter. Make sure that's highlighted. If it's already highlighted, when you press mode, if you see the radian highlighted, then you're good to go. Okay. All right. If degree is highlighted, then you want to go down and highlight radians. All right. So let's make a table. So we want to approach 0. So remember, what we want to do is we want to get closer and closer to 0 on either side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a table with an x and an f of x. Okay, and then I'll do 0.1, 0.01, 0.001, right? I can do that. And actually, that's from the right side. Okay, so this is limit as x approaches 0 from the right. And let me also make one from the left side. Okay, and I could have done it on the left. That would probably been more intuitive, but so the limit as x approaches 0 from the left would be like 0.9, 0.99, 0.999, okay? And that's what I'd like you to do is 3 from either side if I ask you to make a table. And so I'm just going to plug those values into this into my calculator. So you can do a couple things. You can do you can make this y equals in your y equals menu, and then you can just do trace in these values and then enter. Or you can put this into your kind of main screen and then just keep changing the x value. So either way works. All right, so I did trace point 1, and I got 2.8232124. Okay, so that's what I got when I plugged 0.1 in for x. So now I'm going to do 0.01, and I got 2.998. So it's definitely pretty clear what's going on here. And then let me do trace 0.001, and we get 2.999982. Okay, so it looks like here we're approaching 3. The limit from the left is approaching 3, right? So now let's do the same thing with, the limit from the right, is approaching 3. So now let's do the limit from the left. So I'm going to go trace 0.9. Let's see. Oh, and I see I made a mistake. 0.9 is getting closer to 1, right? So I should be, sorry about that, it should be negative 0.01, negative 0.001, negative 0.001. Okay, so if I do trace negative 0.1, I get 2.8232124. Same thing as this, right? And so then if I do trace negative 0.01, I get the same thing as we did with the positive. And then finally, negative 0.001, we get 2.999982. And so we're approaching 3 from the left as well. And so if we're approaching 3 from the left, 3 from the right, that means our final answer is 3, right? So don't forget to put your final answer, right? Because that's what really we're using the table to do. So we're approaching 3 from the right, 3 from the left. Since they're the same, that means we get 3, right? If they weren't the same, we would get D and E.